Hello, welcome to American Baker Germany. I'm Michelle.
I'm Rachel.
Yeah. And where do we know each other?
College.
Yeah.
The college days.
So we've known each other for a very long time. She's a very good friend of mine and my life coach. So you can see her links down below, clarityreiki.com. Yeah.
Absolutely. Please come visit me. I live and work in New York City. I'm also a professional musician, and it is an honor to be here. And I also speak German, which we didn't only meet in college, we met in the German house. So
yeah.
I am so happy.
Exchange, yeah.
I am so honored to be here.
We did our student exchange together. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. You did more than one, but yeah. One of them, I was there.
We were abroad, and you know, what happens abroad stays abroad. No kidding. It's really great to be here. I hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, so today we are making a chocolate cake with chocolate ganache because I understand you don't really like that much sweet.
It's true. I'm very much more a bitter and salty type of taste person.
Yeah, so we've decided to go with ganache instead of buttercream, and we are making a Paris cake. And why did we choose Paris?
Because I'm going to Paris with my boyfriend for my birthday, which is only a few days away.
So it is a birthday cake for Rachel, and it is a Paris themed cake.
Oh.
And so I'm excited to do this, so let's get started.
I'm so excited.
Yay!
This is 4 by 6 inch chocolate cake filled with raspberry jam. Then Rachel tried her hand at crumb coating the cake and did a pretty good job, I must say. I corrected a tiny bit, and we let the cake chill in the fridge for 20 minutes or so. Then I frosted it again with more ganache. Then we chose to panel the cake with ivory fondant. So I measured the cake and cut the fondant to be just larger than the size. And I trimmed the edges to be flush with the cake. Then I do the same thing on the other sides of the cake. I trim those edges as well. I had asked Rachel what her favorite color is, and it's red. So I covered the top of the cake with red fondant. I used a fondant smoother to sharpen the edges.
So here's my little statue. I'm going to show off my statue. This is my award from serving in Paris. So it's a little known fact. I used to live in Paris.
I did know that.
You knew that. But people on video don't know that.
Then I measured the height of the cake and cut a piece of black fondant to size and freehand cut out an Eiffel Tower. First, I cut a triangle shape out and then rounded it in. Then I cut out an arch from the bottom. then a trapezoid out of the middle. I scored some diagonal lines into the figure with the back of the knife to give it a crisscross texture. And then I made another one, so I would have one for either end of the cake. If you like what we do here, consider subscribing for a new cake every week. Hit the like button and leave us a comment if you want to see something specific. Then I stuck the 2 Eiffel Towers onto the ends of the cake. I cut out a form of the Arc de Triomphe next. It's a rectangle with an arch cut out of the middle third. Then I laid a strip across the top and scored lines into it with the back of a knife that represents the carving on the side. Finally, I cut out a form of Notre Dame. It's a tall rectangle with a small rectangle cut out of the top middle third to form the towers. I scored lines into it to represent the gorgeous ornate carvings using the back of a knife and a piping tip. I must admit the timing of this cake was really odd. I didn't intend this to be a memorial on Notre Dame when I made it. Notre Dame caught fire the day after I made the cake. I just find it to represent the French culture, and no list of Parisian monuments is complete without it. It will be rebuilt. Then I cut out the letters to form the word Paris out of black fondant. And placed them on the top of the cake as centered as I could get it. I placed some red polka dots onto the side of the cake in a semi-random pattern meant to look kind of like red balloons in the sky to make it more celebratory. Then I made a bunch of black lines with my clay extruder and glued them onto the seams. I felt it gave it just a bit of elegance and structure. Since this cake was for us, I get to film it being cut. Such a luxury! This cake turned out cute. It had a few bumps along the way, but in the end it worked out, and I feel it is an appropriate, unintentional memorial for Notre Dame. It's been damaged before and was restored. It will be restored again. The best part, though, is making it with Rachel. Such a fun experience and a great memory we made. Happy birthday, Rachel. Hope you had a blast in Paris on your birthday. Visit our website, AmericanBakerInGermany.com, for a complete cake gallery, as well as a list of all recipes and tutorials. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing.
This is so cool. You can be in the frame, I don't mind. Part of the process. I'm mostly looking at the cake though. This is going in the outtakes if you realize that.
You want my face in there?
I don't mind, you know. I just speed it up, but you know.
Yeah, though.
Nut. That's why I love you, right? I'm not loving these.
I actually think that maybe, I mean, it might be a bad idea now that you've stuck a bunch of them on,
I'm gonna take them off.
but we should just like not make them, try to make them, we should just kind of like make them more like balloons floating around, sort of randomized.
Instead of trying to measure it out.
Right, because
Because it's not going to go in a
it's
grid
not
anyway.
working anyway, and
No.
it's kind of,
I could say that.